to the Lord of Lords, King of Kings.
Greetings everyone, welcome to Yam TV. I am pleased to be here on location in St. Lucia with brother Unami. Is that right? Got that right? Unami from Beulah, Luton. His pastor is Pastor Danny Dietrich, a man that I love. And we were here on mission for 10 days. It's our final day, and we just decided we're going to sit down and share some time. God bless you, sir. Bless you. When we first met was probably a long time ago, but before you were taller than me, and in conferences that had lots of young people, where because I was a presenter, it would be probably easier for you to remember me than me to remember you. And all of a sudden, it seems to me like you just kind of came out of nowhere on the scene in terms of church ministry, and literally just being visible because you're so tall. And I'm just kind of trying to recall how we actually came together at this point, having met I think last October in our church, and I just felt the Lord saying to pull you on this mission. I just want to say before we kick off, you've been a real blessing to us. Didn't know the extent to which you had knowledge in the word, capable to preach. Just totally blown away. Pleased that we made the decision. Thankful to Pastor Danny Dietrich that you were here. Tell us a little bit about your journey to this point today, being here on mission in St. Lucia.
Okay, well, I've been brought up in the church, taken under the wing of Pastor Diedrich and Bishop Gregory, and just taught Bible really at first off. Just at half terms, holidays, they would just get me to read some scriptures, get me to understand the meaning of it. And then for me, although it seemed boring at the time, it actually shaped the way that I thought about things. And it just helped me to rely on certain scriptures and go back to certain scriptures when I find myself in trouble.
What age did you get baptized?
10 years old.
10. Okay, I was 11, so there's some synergy there. And what would you say was the first kind of moment or events where you kind of got to sense what you might be doing for the Lord in the future?
I got into the church, and it was just because I wasn't born in the church. Just obviously born in Africa, came over, and when I got to the church, it was more homely, I would say.
I didn't expect someone from Africa to say I was born in Africa. I'm a bit disappointed there.
Born in Zimbabwe. Because sometimes when you mention Africa, people can't comprehend what's where, and then if you say Zimbabwe, they think you're talking about Ghana or Ethiopia, unfortunately.
Okay.
But yeah, born in southern Africa, born in Zimbabwe, lived in Botswana for a bit, and then came over here to England. And then, the church really embraced me and the stories that my mother had told me, because she was over here. She told me of a great man that reminds her of her pastor back home, and that was Pastor. And then when I came over, I was wondering what's so great about these people. I then found out that they're just nice, loving. Yeah, lots of children were there, lots of youth of all ages that I grew up with. So it was just an extended family, really.
What about that pivotal point of maybe calling, where you felt the Lord's called me for ministry?
I think after a few preachings, most people have their own time when they heard something, and that was the time. But I think for me, it was like I felt good in what I was in. So I thought, I'm going to commit to this thing. And I remember at the time I kept asking for baptism, and they were like, no, do you know what baptism even means? But I kept asking for baptism because I just wanted to delve deeper in this thing. I heard about being baptized and then being filled. So I thought, why not get the ball rolling? I'm ready. I want to go for it. and then get baptized.
And that would have been just before hitting secondary school.
Yes.
Pivotal point.
Oh, yes.
I mean, anybody's life. Tell us a bit about that transition and how you managed that.
Well, I went to a boys' school at first. So, and in a boys' school, it was very tough. You had to fight to survive. So, being a Christian that's newly baptized, I would say, yeah, I was living kind of not a double life, but I was like, if I would get into any fights at school, I would say yes, it's self-defense. I have not compromised as a Christian. I have not done anything that goes against. But obviously, as a young Christian, you will try and test the boundaries, try and do as much as you can without it seeming like you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good. I didn't face any of the problems that people face in terms of relationships and all that. For me, it was all about being the macho man. And I think it's good that I was there because I learned to be aware of pride.
Mm.
I learned to be aware and not to, because in that environment, people wanted to be known. People wanted their name to be spread in the corridors, in the hallways. So I think just knowing that that's not the right thing to do was good for me.
Let's talk a bit about school a bit more. I know that you had a bit of a foray into drama.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I've had my own experience of the arts and having been a literature student and been around people who were doing drama. I've always felt that at that age and stage, there's a real spirit behind the arts and a real pull around some of these things. And I don't like to be a person that says that career is not for Christians or not for anyone. I definitely knew what wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a bit about your journey into drama, the heights that you went to, and what you saw as the risks and challenges in that space.
Okay, well, in acting, I would say this is when I moved to my new school. It was a mixed school, and then people could do stuff, whether it be music, whether it be dancing, or whether it be acting.
Mm-hmm.
And then I fell into the acting section because I was able to just express myself in that area. And then I think because I was told that I couldn't do it, that's what made me persevere.
Who told you couldn't do it?
My drama teacher, actually.
Oh, wow.
My drama teacher at school told me, don't pick drama. She point blank told me on the options night, don't pick it, you will fail.
Wow.
Yeah, she says, you're not good enough. And then this teacher...
I didn't know that was still happening this day and age.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
We'll do some plays, and then everyone would get their part. I remember there was one play where I was doing 9 roles because I was just in the ensemble. I was picking up every other line. I was just the guy that would pop on in one dress, come off, and then come back on in another uniform. It's just those one-line things because she didn't really want to give me that opportunity. But I remember there was this one performance where I stood out in, and it was called Everyman. And it has a bit of religious imagery in there, but it's a bit off. And then I was playing the lead character in that play, and that was actually for my GCSE piece. And then I had to basically pull out all the stops because it's your GCSE. And I found that the team that I was with, very supportive. And then I found that I was able to take lines on easily. I found that I was able to just pick up stuff and act in the moment. And then for that piece, I actually got an A for that.
Wow.
And then the teacher was so impressed that she called my mum into the school. She says, I want to apologize because I shouldn't have doubted him. And then after that, I finished in school and went to do amateur dramatics outside of school,
Right.
which was good. And my pastor actually said that this was good for confidence. I think he always knew I would never go into acting.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just said it's good to be in front of a crowd of people, because he said that it would sharpen up my skills. Because once you know the word, and once you can be comfortable in front of people, that's a combination for a preacher, in my opinion.
Right, fair enough.
So, yeah. And I think older people can see this far off. I just thought I was enjoying acting, but they can see what path you're going into.
Mm-hmm.
So
what are the parts you played, and what made you come out of drama?
Oh, I just realized that although drama is good, number one, doing a lot of theatre stuff, which I did, is it's very close for an intense couple of months. You get to know the team, you get to rehearse together, you get to build a bond, a friendship, a connection with people, and then there's the buzz of performing every night, of standing in the wings. There's nothing like going on every night, because you just feel that rush, and then you feel, well, this is it, and then you go out, and then you perform, and then you come back, and then everyone gives a pat on the back, and then there's that sense of community.
Yeah.
But as soon as the show's done, they call it the post-show blues. Once the show's finished, no one talks to anybody, and that's it. And you're like, all these friends that I had are now gone. All these people that I spent building friendships with are gone.
Yeah.
And then because the drama group that I was with, it was one show after the other. You had no time to like recover.
Right.
So yeah, those people have left, but you have no time to worry about those, because you're in a new play now. It's just very continuous. But I noticed that if I was to pursue that as a career, it's not as continuous, because the competition is so fierce. Because in London, they say that's the beacon of arts. They say that's where everyone goes. People fly in from all over just to be on the West End.
The stage, but yeah.
The stage. So I realised once you get on that, it's not sustainable.
Any roles you had to turn down? Or were there in principle roles you wouldn't take?
Yes. I remember I was going for Romeo and Juliet in a play, and I didn't take the part of Romeo, because obviously Romeo and Juliet's it's a love play. I just didn't really... Because you have to remember your parents and your family are coming to see this play. As a Christian man, not that you're ashamed, it's just your own being. Although you're putting on a role, it's still you at the end of the day. And then I can't detach myself and say, it's no longer me. But yeah, I couldn't take on the role of Romeo because I wasn't comfortable with being lovey-dovey with someone that I hardly know.
But it's just acting.
Some people can.
Some might say.
Some people can, but me being from a different background, being from a different area, I'd say, it wasn't for me.
So what advice would you give a young person considering either doing drama or considering acting as a career as a Christian? I mean, Pureflix is out there now, isn't it? So, I mean, has times changed somewhat?
Yeah, I think there are Christian drama groups out there, but they're few and far between. I've only heard of one. And yeah, I'd say once you get into acting, you'll realize whether it's for you or not. And it depends, because acting really demands a lot if you want to pursue it. You can't take on another job because you need to be available for callbacks. You need to be available for whenever they call you. You need to be able to drop everything, fly across the world if you need to. So it demands a lot from you. And if you can give all of that up, and sadly, you don't need to have any morals to be an actor. Because if they're putting you in some scenes questionable, and you take them on, then that's on you. So yeah, there was too many conflicts for me,
Right.
and that's why I went for something that was more stable.
King of Kings. Nobody can compare to you. You're the highest.